All right, guys, we got Coach here.
All right. This is the most disappointed I've been as the head coach of Wake Forest since I've taken the job. Not that we lost, but the way we lost, we didn't play well. And I'll give credit to NC State. You know, they came out in the beginning of the game and we looked lost against full court pressure, like we hadn't even worked on it. We were very tentative. Didn't want the ball, didn't want to drive it up against pressure, take on the trap, and they got steals. And it's impossible to win basketball games turning the ball over 21 times. I don't care who you're playing. And then we had a lot of miscommunication on defense in the first half. The ball got middle, and I said before the game the ball could not get middle. But that credit goes to NC State for sticking with their plan and trying to get the ball in the middle of the court against the ball screens. And for the most part, they did. When they didn't, we did a pretty good job of defending them when they didn't. But for the most part in the game, they got kind of where they wanted to be. But really, the whole issue here is what I said before would be a problem, were the turnovers. And I'm just going to have to try to help them more. I got to do a better job. The scheme is the same I've been using for years and different ones, but it's obviously not working. So I got to figure out a way to help them against pressure when we're reluctant to handle it and reluctant to pass it. I'll take any questions.
Steve, did you have any indication, whether it was yesterday in practice or today in shoot around, that their pressure would be that much of a problem for your guys?
No. Actually, we had a really good practice yesterday, Connor. I thought we were ready to go and prepared, and but you don't know until the lights come on. And I didn't think we were ready to go. And when the pressure came, it really, it's not that difficult to beat. You drive it up till you get stopped. If you don't get stopped, you just keep going. When you get stopped and you get trapped and you look middle, sideline, throw over or back. But we just didn't even want to get it. And then we're putting it in Jonah's hands all the time, which isn't fair to him. And so I don't know, man. I'm disappointed. I thought Davian was really poor early against the pressure. And he's seen it before, played against it. I'm not throwing him under the bus because, there's all kinds of turnovers all over the team, and so we're just going to have to figure out a better way.
Coach, you said that this is the most disappointing loss you've had, or most disappointed you've been since taking the Wake job. And you said it's because you didn't play well. You've also said that about the Georgia Tech game and other stretches as well. What makes this one specifically sting most?
It's disappointing because we prepared for that pressure. It's not hard to beat. They're not really trying to steal it. They're just really trying to disrupt you, to make the shot clock shorter in your half-court offense. It's kind of a type of pressure that if you give it to them, they'll take it. If you don't, they won't. And so I just thought we were just horrific attacking it. And that's what you got to do. And then what happens when you're a pressure team and you smell fear, you take advantage of it. And that's what I saw early. And then, we settled down and, we did better, but, it's too late then. We should have, it should have been a tightly contested game, the whole entire game, instead of, us playing from behind at the end.
Coach, I noticed you took Davian out extremely early after a couple of early turnovers. Was that some time where you set him aside and talked to him and gave him a chance to evaluate the game from the bench to maybe see what was going on?
Well, this is a good way of putting it. I think he comes out because you turned it over 2 times, and that's not acceptable. And so, a good player goes and he sits there and he watches what's going on and he thinks about what he did wrong and he tries to fix it. He doesn't live in the past. You got to have a next play mentality. And so, He's better than that, and he knows it. And it wasn't just turning it over. It's, again, I've said this over and over and over. I'm going to say it again. You got to have players that want the ball and not run from it, and not try to get open, but just kind of want the other guy on your teammate to get open. We got too much of that, and we're not. We are who we are. We're not a great passing team, and so if you don't attack the pressure and you can't pass it very well, then it's a problem, and that's what happened to us tonight.
Steve, it looked like kind of early, you guys were also a little maybe frustrated with the way guys were closing out on stage jumpers.
Yeah.
How do you think the guys responded to that and kind of covered that through the rest of the game?
I thought, we were really we were trying to ice the ball screens on the sides, but then for some reason, there was a couple of those guys we were trying to switch, but we're not ice to switch, it's switch. Ice to switch means that you still play below the ball screen. We didn't want to do that when we switch. We wanted to be up and take it away, but we weren't doing that until finally got it correct, kind of got them doing it in the second half. And so, another team that doesn't make a lot of threes, I don't think, do they, on the year? I don't know. They made 7 out of 14. It's tough. And then when you turn it over 21 times, they also went to the line 27 times, fouling too much. And so, I don't think we did really anything outstanding tonight. I think it was a combination of a lot of poor play in a lot of areas. And I'll have to go back and watch it. But walking out of here, I didn't feel good about any aspect of the game, offense or defense. I thought was the way we should have played.
Steve, in addition to the turnovers, did the pressure by NC State also push your offense out a couple feet further on the court to get started?
Because we were tentative. You saw what happened when we went into attack mode. We were going downhill on them in the second half. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. You're reluctant to attack. You're reluctant to bring it across half court, and then they get you pushed all the way out there, and then you can't run anything because you're 40 feet from the basket, this is a team that I've told you guys this many times, that we have to orchestrate a lot of things to get us shots. You saw what happened late when we orchestrated, getting wide open shots and making them. But when you're playing against pressure like that, you got to flow. And they had us all pushed out. We got guys that didn't want to handle it. And then we just started doing things we can't do. And again, I'm going to go back to this. The most disappointing thing on offense, too, was we're not playing off 2 feet again. Playing off 1 foot, taking bad shots, turnovers. And this is what happens. You play against pressure, they speed you up, and then you take bad shots or you turn it over. It's a combination of a lot of bad things instead of just making them pay for it. Because the real truth is, when you pressure like that, you're not going to be great in the half-court defense. And we showed that when we could. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Without giving up too much of the game plan moving forward, what can you do to get guys to want to come to the ball and to want the ball in their hands against pressure?
I don't know, Connor. I've not been in this situation. I guess you just got to keep practicing, right? And the other thing is, I think, I got to continue to give them try to give them confidence. And I wasn't very happy tonight. Good thing I had a mask on. But I don't know. The only way I know how to do things is to continue to do them over and over and over until you get good at it, right? But at some point, somebody has to have the ball in their hands and drive it up and either beat it or take on the trap, make the right pass, drive it up, and get into your offense. That's just it's basketball 101 against pressure. You can't just pass. And we're not a great passing team anyway. And so we just got to continue to work on it, man. And I'm sure we're going to see it again. And I would, if I was scouting this, that's what I'd do.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, boys.
All right, guys, we got Odie here. Sorry.
So Odie, we heard Coach publicly say this is the most disappointed he's been since he's been at Wake. That's what he said publicly. How would you describe what he said privately to you guys?
I mean, rightfully so. In the first half, I don't think we did a good job as a team collectively. We weren't playing through the pressure. I don't think we took good care of the ball as well as we could have to the best of our ability, and just gotta play more together as a team, share the ball, move the ball.
Well, you guys got to see a lot of pressure at the end of the Pitt game, and Steve was even kind of talking about how that was a big concern for him for this game, obviously. How do you cope with the feeling of like that early bit where you're thinking like we might be getting a little bit of trouble here with the way that we're kind of running into this for them?
I think it's more so just a matter of, taking on that pressure. As a team, we gotta know that the traps are coming. The press is coming. We gotta be able to play through that. We gotta be able to find the open man. We gotta be able to just move the ball and get to our spots as best as we can. As best as we're like how our coach tells us like every day in practice and everything. We work on this stuff. We just gotta keep applying that and keep working on it as a team.
Odie is a big. What can you do to help out that process when things are going awry in terms of ball handling?
In terms of ball handling, I think I'll do the best of my ability to get my teammates open, to get the guards open. Whole time I'm listening to my coaches. I'm listening to hearing what they want me to do. I just got to get to my spots. I got to be able to myself find the open man and just take on that pressure and just power through it.
Odie, coach said that you guys practiced really well in simulating the pressure, and you guys did well against it. So what was different about it out there tonight in the game?
Honestly, I think we just gotta be able to have that carryover from practice into the game, and know that the same exact thing is coming, if not worse than what we thought it was going to be. So we just got to have that type of mentality from the start of the game and then come in there and attack it.
Odie, what was the approach for you in the second half? Because you really had a stretch there where you were being pretty aggressive and kind of able to play the way that you like to play, and it had a benefit of the offense.
Excuse me, can you repeat that?
Yeah, I was saying, what was kind of your approach to the second half, just as far as the impact you were trying to make? Because you had some stretches there where you had some really positive stuff going on for the offense.
When we come into the second half, we all had the same type of mentality. Just be more aggressive and attacking those opportunities where we got them. And whole time I was just thinking I'm gonna just do whatever I can to help my team, whether that be a rebound, score, box out, just anything that's possible. Play defense, whatever I can do to help my team. I was just trying to do that and trying to focus on those points.
Odie, Coach Forbes really wasn't in the mood to hear anything positive about this game. But given that, do you feel like your low post defense was pretty solid tonight? And were you happy that you were able to stay out of foul trouble?
I think we're all, as a team, happy that I was able to stay out of foul trouble in the first half, and I think that's a big thing moving forward. Everyone staying out of foul trouble, everyone being able to have an impact on the court as a team, and we just got to just keep working together, and it's coming.
Thanks, Odie.
Sir, thank you.
All right, guys, we got Jacoby here.
Jacoby, Coach Forbes mentioned that in practice yesterday and today in walkthroughs, you guys did well against the pressure. So what was different about taking what you guys did in practice against it to the game tonight?
just feel like when the lights turn on, we just gotta be more confident in ourselves. Play through mistakes. I feel like a lot of us are worried about making a mistake and having a negative reaction, but there's gonna be mistakes all throughout the game. So I feel like we just gotta bounce back from mistakes. The best teams do it. The worst teams do it. We just gotta play through that and just be as aggressive as possible. I mean, they're pressuring us. We might beat one guy, just draw another and kick like it. We just made the game more complicated than it needed to be, I felt like.
Is that something that can get ironed out in the next 2 days, or is that something that will just gradually have to happen over the rest of the season?
No, it could get ironed out for sure within the next 48 hours, and we'll be a lot better on Saturday. I can promise you that.
Kobe, you guys have been in tight in almost every game you've played in 2021 at this point. Why do you think this team seems to at least kind of streamline it a little bit to find some success late as far as closing the gap?
What do you mean by streamline?
Does it simplify for you guys in late games, in kind of the way that you're approaching the game, and maybe that's why things kind of go a little more positively?
I would definitely touch on the point that I made earlier about just playing through mistakes and just being confident in yourself and just letting the game come to us. Because in the second half, as you saw, coming down to the wire, as we started to cut the game closer, guys were just playing freely. We're getting more open shots. Guys weren't really second guessing themselves and being real passive. The first half, everybody just wanted to be a passive. You feel me? Every time someone was touching the ball, they're just looking for someone else. But we're high major basketball players for a reason. We're skilled, we're athletic. We just need to play to the elite level that we know that we can and just stay in attack mode. Second half, all of us were trying to attack, get to the paint, playing off two and making plays. And we just need to start the game off with the same urgency that we finished it with.
Jacoby, did you feel like your sense of confidence grew as the game wore on?
I would say so. Just being more comfortable and just making plays. I feel like the point that I touched on earlier, just playing through mistakes, is the big thing that I have to get better with. I mean, everybody knows the type of player that I am and that I can be in the future and next game, but I just got to stay confident and stay aggressive and just play through mistakes. Like I said, everybody makes mistakes. You just got to bounce back and just think next play. We got to have a better next play mentality to start the game because it's not always going to be perfect.
Jacoby, did it feel like the turnovers and the passive mentality kind of played a factor in you guys not hitting as many threes as you typically did the last couple games?
Yeah, the first half especially, you're not going to get open shots if we're not being aggressive. Like I said, you got to beat one man, draw another, and kick. And we didn't get a lot of that because we weren't beating anybody. We were just trying to pass it to the next person. Second half, you saw a lot more. I don't know the numbers, but our assists were probably much higher. And we're definitely getting much better looks in the second half because guys were being more aggressive. So it's never a loss. It's always a lesson. So we're just going to learn from it and start games off better and get us some wins moving forward.
Thanks, Jacoby.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.